Welcome to Open Campus Soft Skills Course, Module 10, Corporate Confidentiality. In this module, you will learn the importance of protecting the privacy of others, understand employers' guidelines and important laws, and how to handle email, digital, and paper records. Our focus areas for this module will be on guidelines and laws and handling records. Well, what is confidentiality? Confidentiality is a set of rules or a promise that limits or prevents access to certain types of information. There are three areas of confidentiality guidelines that we want to discuss. First, employee information. Employee information consists of personal identifying information, employee medical and disability information, health information, as well as immigration forms I-9s. The second area of guidelines includes management information. This information consists of employee relations and misconduct information, disciplinary actions, as well as layoffs, terminations, and reductions of force. And the third area of guidelines is our business information. This includes information about proprietary information and trade secrets. It's important to note that when we're talking about the business information, this includes like secret ingredients, it includes your company budgets, anything that deals with the ownership or proprietary top level information regarding that particular business or company. There are some important laws and information that you should be aware of. First is the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. This law requires employee medical and disability information to be kept confidential, and it limits access to those employees' medical and disability information. The second law is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, known as HIPAA. This law regulates healthcare providers' use and disclosure of health information. It is thirdly also important to note that immigration forms I-9s includes personal information such as national origin and age, and this information should also be kept confidential. When handling emails, it is important that you should avoid using email transmission when you're sending sensitive or confidential information. However, in the event that you are sending this type of information via email, it's important to note that you should in fact include a confidentiality disclaimer or to mark the email as confidential. And thirdly, when we're dealing with emails and storage of that information, when you are purchasing new equipment and you're destroying or getting rid of old computers, the data on those old computers should be wiped off, and there are different software systems or software equipment that you can use to do so, or the hard drive itself should be destroyed. When handling records, there are some key things to remember. First, review the policies and procedures in the employee handbook. That is going to set the tone on how you handle records and how the confidentiality of those records should be handled. 2, confidential documents should be stored in locked file cabinets or accessible on a need-to-know basis. Thirdly, electronic confidential information should be protected via firewalls, encryptions, and passwords. And we are now seeing that there are a lot of companies and individuals that are using cloud-based secure storage formats and platforms. Fourthly, you should refrain from discussing confidential information in public places. That is the key reason it's called confidential, because you should not share out in the open where anybody could have knowledge or be privy to the knowledge or the information about a particular employee or a group of people that work for your company. It's also important to realize that confidential information should be destroyed properly. Ideally, that information should be shredded. So your employee handbook may list a different protocol for that, but when you are destroying those types of materials, shredding is one of the most effective and the most useful, most used processes. And number 6, refrain from leaving confidential information visible on your computer or even leaving it on your desk whether you're going away for a quick minute to take a quick restroom break, or to grab a cup of coffee, or to answer a phone in another part of the office, or if you're going to be leaving for the day. All of that information, it's still confidential, and you should make certain that it is secured and that you are handling it properly and not leaving it open and available to any particular person. Well, this concludes Quiz 10, Corporate Confidentiality. You will now have a quiz on this information.